Good morning. Good morning. Right now I'm doing worms. These are African red wigglers. How we doing today? No? Doesn't tell anybody that I know, or it doesn't seem like anybody that I know gets a notification. Good morning. How we doing today? Beautiful Saturday. What do you got planned? No? Good morning. Good morning. This is a 10-7. Good morning. Good morning. Don't be afraid. Don't run. Don't run. Don't run. How we doing? And you ran. You ran. Good morning. Can you hear what I'm saying? You're inside a worm farm right now. I grow worms. I'll show you. Here's some worms. Beautiful African wood wigglers. Moisture's perfect. Shut them up. Hey, good morning. How we doing? 0. Back to 0. We got 2 back to 0. I'm the worm man. Man. I'm the worm man, man. No one. Good morning. What did everybody do this morning? What's everybody doing this morning? No one wants to sit and talk about anything important. I'm doing worms. It's not because I love bugs more than I love other things. It's because it's necessary. Where is everyone? Me getting louder change the algorithm? Hello? Yo, what's up? I've been yelling at the camera trying to get more people to come, thinking that will change the algorithm. I'm just doing one of my businesses. I'm not some bug freak. I have a worm business that produces high quality fertilizer. It just seems like most people aren't interested. I just want to have conversation with people, find like-minded people in other genres. So it sounds like the crazier you get, the more attention you try to draw, the more audience you get, you know? So maybe that'll help. I was just yelling at the camera before you came on. Right here is just a little worm business that I have. It's essentially bins of worms that I feed, take care of, and then they produce a fertilizer that's like no other. You can completely do it yourself at your house and feed all your plants and build soil biology instead of degrading the soil into dirt, you know? So when I came across this, I was sick. I needed to grow food. I didn't want to use petrol-based chemicals, and I just went on a ride. I came across worm castings, actually from a friend, and it's just been history. Now I have multiple bins. We're selling worms and we're selling castings, along with a ton of other things. I'm not some bug freak, but it's very necessary. Anybody can do it. You can do it in a bucket in your garage and have your own fertilizer. So some of my other videos explains it. I'm gonna have more explaining more in depth, but essentially I was just trying to come on here and have conversation with people. When I start saying worm, people just disappear. Like, what is this guy? Can you guys even hear me, or is it just silent? What is everybody up to today? I got 3 people in here. That's the most today. Anybody interested in the worm business? Or do you make knives? Or are you into knives? I make high-end knives also. And then we have a garden outside. I'm hatching. We do a lot of different things. 1 second. If you look in here, flip this around. Here's some baby quail that just hatched yesterday. There's my dog walking around the shop. But yeah, here's some quail. So maybe you guys do animals, my other side of my shop, but here are some more babies that just hatched. Look at all of them. Incubator's filled. Super easy to do. I mean, you could just buy eggs off Amazon and an incubator. You put them in there, and 17 days later, you have baby quail, which are amazing animals. They feed my worms. And I don't mean that I feed them directly to my worms. I don't. What they do is they live in an aviary that I have that produces compost, and I've started using compost to make my worm castings. So essentially, Coturnix quail are really good for meat, and or eggs, and that's awesome. Eggs are awesome. They do stop laying if you a certain time of year, but instead of having to kill them to eat them, which they're great for meat too, they produce an awesome feed for my worms, so they're then feeding my other business. So it's like I don't have to hurt them or eat them, and it's kind of cool. So like it used to, before worms, I was raising meat and eggs, and now I'm just raising birds to feed this business, which then is making more than buying food if I had to. I still raise meat, chickens, and stuff like that. But yeah, so the worm business is pretty cool. It seems like a few people are staying around. Maybe I'll show you the worms still. I can show you some knives too, if anybody's into knives. I do a few different things. This is a bin. I label all my bins, right? So you got a breeder bin, which is just code for a bin that's actively making worms, eggs, and or castings. So this was made on 9/29, and then it's been checked twice, whether it's been watered or fed. I'm not keeping track of that right now. But this one I just did, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what. This is not a good example because I already opened it. I'll show you a better example. These I've all done already. This one's one of my older bins. This is coming up. I run them on a month cycle. This bin here, this is going to be a good example. So if you look closely here, right down here, I'm almost guaranteed there's a bunch of worms in here. So this is hundreds, if not thousands of worms in this one bin. There's thousands. But these are African red wigglers. They're a composting worm. Like literally you can run a 5-gallon bucket, feed them any scraps. Instead of having a compost pile that you, I would do a compost pile. Obviously you have to have them both. But this is something that you can do and create a fertilizer that you can then do a tea and then spray down your property. We use it on it's not, I'm not just producing it to sell it. We use it in our nursery and on our food forest, which is becoming large. So if I didn't even sell any of this, I wouldn't have to do as many worms as I'm doing, but I would just produce it for myself, right? Not as many, but it still should be done by everybody. Everybody should be producing a garden, producing some food. It doesn't have to even be 20% of what you eat, but having something in place and then figuring out ways to manage the garden without spending a bunch of money. Nice, healthy worm. Yeah, they are, DNA. Yeah, they're happy right now. I think they're mating. There's some. These are some younger ones. There are some older ones mixed in. The babies are plentiful. So, the castings to me, you need compost and castings. I'm feeding compost to my worms, which is then making even better castings. And I'm finding the worms are thriving more so because there's like peat moss. There's something to it, but it's nowhere near compared to what my compost is. My compost is saturated in quail feces before I bring it in, essentially. I've broken it down. But quail poop is not the same as chicken poop. Some people are like, oh, you can't use chicken poop. You could use chicken poop if you dealt with it properly. It would actually be an excellent way to produce really good compost for them. But, so this is a bin. It does need to be fed. Let me throw a little feed in there. This one's coming up, so I'm on a month cycle. It's hard to tell from this video, but they're beautiful castings. JSoft, how many worms does it start one bin? I would start with 250 on one bin. What 250 does a few things. Worms are pretty smart. They do a few things. If there's too many worms, right, they slow down their mating because they can kind of understand the amount of space that they have. So, and then if there's too many worms, they slow down. They slow down the production. If there's too much food, they're like, oh, we don't need to worry about it. We got plenty of food. So they slow down their feed a little bit. So essentially, there's like a middle ground. If you want to produce more worms, still have an adequate amount of castings, what you really want to do is get your equation for your bedding down. When I do my bins now, my breeder bins are I have a certain amount of bedding that I'm putting in there, and then I'm limiting the chow that comes in there because that's what I'm finding causes a lot of problems. If you're running a really good bedding that is nutritious, that is their food also. So you're just kind of giving a little bit of, like my powder feed right here, some of the base is chicken feed, but I have a ton of other stuff that I'm adding to it to allow the worms to just thrive. Crab meal, kelp meal, and I add it in moderation. I make large buckets of it, and you really don't like this bin right here. It's filled with worms. Because the bedding is so nutritious, and that's their feed also, I can just do a little sprinkle like this, which they love. I'm not overfeeding them. I don't have any smell in here. There's no fruit flies. There's no nothing. It's just, it smells like beautiful earth. And it's because I don't overfeed them, and I use a good bedding to essentially, it's just like, it's compost. It's very earthy. So you're not bringing all these nasty, like, putting a bunch of food in there is amazing, but if you just limit it enough and you find out how much they can finish in a day or two, it would be a way better way to do it than just kind of compounding everything and then trying to get them to keep up with it. So this is pretty wet. I don't need to water this. That's another thing I'm finding is that with these plastics, they can breathe perfectly. There's plenty of airflow coming around the sides everywhere, but it's really helping the moisture content, and it's I don't have to water them as often. And then what I do is, look, this is 9/28. This is going to be harvestable on the 28th. Sorry if you can't see that. So on the 28th, you're going to be good to go. So all I'm going to do is so I'm trying to stay in between 4 to 5 checks within that month, whether it's feeding or watering. So once you get the equation down, like literally 250 worms, a cement mixing tray, and some compost that's been sifted as fine as you can get it. If you can run your compost through an 1/8 inch sift, I'm doing 1/4 inch, which I find to be fine. What it does is it allows voids within the bedding, which allows oxygen and for them to move freely. So it's really a good ecosystem. A couple wood chips in there that are in the process of breaking down only add to the ecosystem. So, and then everybody's trying to get rid of every gnat and every other bug in there while they're poisoning their worms. My ecosystems allow for a lot of different things to be in there. I'm finding earwigs. They don't do, even if there's one and it does eat a worm, it's fine. If everything else is bound, don't poison the bin to get rid of an earwig. Just everybody, there's going to be other critters in there. It's perfectly fine. So that's marked 5 times. I will be harvesting this. What's the date today? What's today? JJ, what's it today?
28th.
Oh, today, that's why this bin looks today is the 28th, so it's actually time to start harvesting some of these beds. And you can see if I pan over on this one here, this is on the 29th. This is 4 times 2. I have already fed this one water, but look at the top. Look at that. They come in, they do a circle around it, and they're just feeding and mating. I mean, it's like there's tons of eggs. Everything changed when I switched to compost. DNA, if you're still in here, as soon as I switched to compost, everything changed. And a good, clean compost. I'm not talking about a bag. I'm talking about a good setup at your house that has your natural, your properties things. It's very synergistic. It helps a lot, I think. And then when you're adding back to it, like when you're making your teas, really a big benefit is like the Korean natural farming, like getting your, I forget the letters, IMO or whatever. You're already doing that. Like so I sell this stuff as vermicompost when I sell it, and that's because it hasn't fully broken down everything, and my compost is mixed in, but it's really a benefit. I mean, at the end of the day, you are getting more nutrients. You're getting more. It's just a more complete system coming your way to just add to the equation. So, and we turn most of ours to tea, other than we mix a lot into our soil, our potting soil mixes that we do, because we do a lot of starts. Cool, that's helpful. For 250 worms after 1 month, how many worms has it been produce? Man, you're asking me all these early on facts that I could just spit out like off the top. They can quadruple their population. I don't think it's a month. I think it's like 2 or 3 months when you first start getting going, and then it just starts compounding. I mean, you get to 1,000, and then think about it, 4,000, and then 4,000 turns to 8,000. If everything goes well, I've come out here, JSoft, and all the worms have been on the ground. Like, I'm out of here, man. You have not been holding up your end of the bargain. So I've had to chase them around, get them all back in. And really all I was doing an experiment on all of them, seeing how far I could push. And this is funny, actually. When I was using peat moss as the bedding, I tried to push them in between feedings, how far I could push them. And they literally were like, F you, man, I'm out of here. And now that I have the such good compost as their bedding, they don't even care. They're like, dude, you don't even need. I'm not telling you to do this, DNA. But it's almost like if you just mixed a little chow in with the bedding, or something, some sort of grain or something that maybe doesn't activate as weird as chicken feed. I don't even think you could just 1 month, 3 weeks to 1 month, you set a bin, certain amount of worms, other than moisture control. I don't even know if you have to do any feeding. I haven't tried it yet because I have a specific formula that I need to produce enough for right now as my business grows. But it's something I'm going to start doing because I can take this bin and probably almost get 4 or 5 bins out of one bin right now. So I'm waiting for a large population. I'm about to expand the business tenfold very soon. I have a whole nother space. If I don't air condition that space, which honestly now I'm finding that their temperature range is amazing. 35 degrees, some say, up to 90. That means I can pretty much run them anywhere in Florida, whether it's in a shadier spot, almost maybe moving them like the bees, put them out in a sunnier spot for the winter and a shadier in the summer. Something I'm gonna probably do some passive flow setups outside and test them. So, but I got my nephew here. He's going back to the military. I'd hate to get off right now because there's 7 people right now. It's amazing. It's the most I've had so far. Does anybody else have anything to talk about? Do you have any advice? I'm always trying to spew what I know, but maybe I should shut up and listen. I think I've talked to DNA before. So yeah, I'm just kind of, I usually let it take 2 days, 2.5 days, as I start going through and doing all of them. So yeah, I'm gonna cross that off. I have 1, 2. I might do them tonight. But again, that's another cool thing about worms is that you don't have to do them. Like if your equation's for a month and you have a wedding the day on the 29th, it doesn't matter. They don't care. Even if it's a week later, it's fine. It just gets better. It's what about protein poisoning if you premix compost and feed together? I'm not saying it can't be done, but I have never overfed worms to the point where there's a problem. The compost isn't overfeeding them. They consider it bedding that they eat. So my compost is insane right now. So if they were getting, so I would limit. Yeah, you're probably right. Just skip mixing in the feed. I get what you're saying. I don't think I'm not talking about adding a lot in. I'm talking about with the amendments, you bring it to a powder and you mix it in. And as long as it's not all bulked together, I don't think it will go bad. But yeah, I see it, you see it. But some of those people are taking the fly dunks and liquefying them and then spraying their worm bins down. And again, I don't care that you're doing it, but it's like, why are we spraying poison on something that's supposed to be so natural and clean? Like, I get it. The fruit flies are only there because you have food that's not being dealt with properly. You've overfed your worms. It's really the biggest problem. Protein poisoning is the overfeed of worms. The bedding, although it's nutritious, you saw it, DNA. Like, I could pull any one of these bins down right now, and it looks like it's insane. So, other than adding the feed in the beginning and running it all the way through, they are not being there's no protein poisoning in any of my bins based off of the feed or the bedding that I'm using. If that makes sense. Do you have videos, DNA? I think I've seen your page. But yeah, so my nephew's here. He's from the military. I got to bring him back to the airport. He's flying back. He's going. I think there's a delay also in conversation on live, probably by a couple seconds. Yeah, see, there is the delay. I guess the delay is just in case I say something crazy, I can maybe exit out of it and get away with it. Anthony Zurich, do you have a main grow out bin, or do they just rely on the amount of worms in each harvested bin to start new ones? Honestly, like I told the guy, 250 to 500 is really 250 to 1,000 would be perfect for a bin. I'm telling you, in some of these bins, I have 5 or 6,000. And my theory is long-term bins that you're that fine wine, that older wine, that you want to have a certain amount of worms in there. You want to control, pull some out. But I'm putting, I'll just tell you, 3 cups, 2.5 to 3 cups of compost to any amount of worms. They all still have to eat, is what I'm finding. So they all bite something. So regardless, that the theory of too many worms, they slow down this, they slow down that. If you do it quickly and 3 weeks to a month process, I'm seeing no problems. They're getting rid of, they're dealing with enough of the compost, not the biggest stuff, that I then just roll that inoculated stuff right into the next bin, and then I'm off to the races. But some of these bins I could turn into 10 bins. So yeah, these right now are my main grow up bins. I'm just doing a month cycle, flipping them, sifting them, and because I'm limited to how many bins I can have right now, which is changing very soon. Shave that beard, you lumberjack. Maybe. What I'll first do, my hair's getting pretty long too. What I'll first do is I'm gonna cut in the meanest handlebar mustache. This thing's gonna be like, I'm gonna try to trim it in so it's just insane. And then what I might do with my hair is, my wife will probably have something different to say about it. What's it called? Dreadlock. I'm gonna dreadlock my hair. Messi or Ronaldo? Messi just went to Miami. I don't know where Ronaldo. Messi. I would pick Messi. I'm in Florida. Messi. Good question. I just watched him the other day. Those guys get paid money. Soccer players. He has a percentage of the business. He's getting paid. What about you, Dennis? Shave that beard. Kat, you want to come shave it for me? I don't even own a shaver that would probably dig into this. I'd have to use a weed whacker. Messy, yeah. No way, keep it. That's what I'm saying, dude. And I'm not saying, Kat, you can't grow a beard, which I think you're a chick, so I hope that you don't have too thick of a beard. But most people that want me to get rid of the beard can't grow a beard. They're like, do you dye it? I'm like, dude, does it look like I dye anything other than maybe leather work that I do? Like, I don't dye my face. They're just jealous. Yeah. You guys want to see some castings? This is some of my finished product. What sucks? The main thing that sucks about red wigglers is the size of their casting. Like if you were to do like an African or a European nightcrawler, their casting's so much bigger. So it's like you can see it's more distinct. These are very small. They're like little ball bearing 16th little balls. Neymar or man, I don't know who those people are, and I feel like I should. They sound familiar, but I don't know. Are they? No, I'm not gonna even say that. Can you tell us who they are, Dennis? Denise. Sorry, Denise. Who are they? Anyway, this is some of my finished product. You gotta watch capping it, but this stuff is prime. And we use a ton of it. So most of our information about it's very anecdotal. We don't, it's like, well, have you had it tested yet? I'm like, yeah, we test it every day by growing stuff in it and then eating the product and having great results. I've been growing for 15 years and have no idea what that means. Growing for 15 years and have no idea what that means. No, what means? What means? D. Got 10 people. This is the most people that have been on live. And you know what's crazy? Is that every time I said worms when the first person would come on, they would instantly leave. Like, oh, this guy's weird. As soon as I showed my face and started yelling before my nephew got down here, it started blowing up. And then somebody that I think is subscribed jumped on, and then it's crazy. I think that the more we got here, I'm gonna be on 15 years. I'm new here. I'm on my mom's phone. My name is Caitlin. What's up, Caitlin? How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. What are you growing, indoors or outdoors? We grow outdoors most. I mean, I'll take you for a walk. You see all the worms? I'll show you a couple of my knives real quick. Just so you, it doesn't sound like I'm bullshitting. Here's a drawer of ones that are getting ready for shows. Some of our customers. A little fixed blade. One of my grinds. And this is my machine shop where we can pretty much make anything. Lathe, my pit bull, my vicious pit bull. And then this is our grinding room. Sand blastings. But we make custom knives also, me and my buddy. Here's one of his knives here. Thanks, D. Yeah, I got that for a really good deal. 1 second, sorry. Dropped that. Of course, the knife's not opening. Here's another one. They're all in process. This one's not finished yet. Pretty cool, though. Custom order for a customer with the materials. He actually ordered a fixed blade also to match. D&D, I'm like literally setting up to take this to the whole next level. Like, I want to be big in this business. Get out, bird. One of my chickens is in. Go. Get out, all of you. A couple of my chickens. Get. D, I want to produce so many worms that it's just like we start reversing some of these issues that we have on this planet. Like, my goal on it is like I want to make money from it, but it's not my main goal. It's really to produce high quality products that just change things. So I'm digging in. This is some of my food forest. We might lose connection a little bit. We're in Florida, so we're starting to go into the fall. But I mean, we got papaya trees filled with papayas. Right here. A little messy. We're if you look at the grass and stuff, this is all bahia. I let go to seed. Again, we're going into fall down here a little bit. Bring you up here and show you. Wipe this camera off. So here's some of our nursery stuff. A lot of it, again, it's coming down right now. It's all gingers. We specialize in a lot of different perennial spinaches. This is Okinawa. It's really cool. It does very well all summer long. Maybe not the Okinawa, as well as longevity. This is longevity. We sell a lot of these. These are all 6-inch pots. And just beautiful leaf, excellent for salads, or put in your stew or your what's it called, soups and stuff like that. Really, really meaty, good. And then this is the big one. This is called chaya. 1 second. Chaya. This has 7% protein. I mean, really, this should be planted all over. It's awesome for butterflies, but really produces a bunch of food that it would help the planet big time. Would you see a cat somewhere? We got cats. We got birds. Here's some more plants. My camera's all fuzzy. Here's a big longevity. Show more of the chickens. I'll bring all the chickens over. Here's 2 rabbits we free range. And it's working out. They've mated. I'm thinking she's gonna have babies soon. These are 2, that's not in New Zealand right there. That one we rescued. That's in New Zealand right there, big old rabbit. The chickens are free range. We put them in the turkeys right there too. Everybody's free range. Dude, my phone is terrible. One second. My camera's broken or something. I don't know, so I'm sorry. There we go. What's up, Mama? Doing all right? That's Dada. Oh. Poking the camera? That's Rosie right there, one of the chickens. There's a male over there. So the chickens go into a coop every night, and we have electric fences, but we let all the animals free range during the day. And we don't really, sometimes a hawk might smash a chicken, but for the most part, we don't really have that many problems. I have a dog, and we do a lot of work on the property, so people are home. These chickens are amazing. Somebody was getting rid of them. They actually wanted me to harvest them, and we kind of fell in love with them. Because we do harvest meat chickens and stuff like that. But man, she just wants to be a pet. It's all right, Mama. It's all right. You're a good girl. I've already fed her, all of them, a couple papayas. Trying, D. How did you get a chicken? How did I get a chicken? This is Rosie. What's up, Rosie? Say hi. Rosie, say hi. Say hi to Jujo. Look, the dog doesn't even mess with him either, really. It's alright, it's alright. Hey, Remy, back up. She's good with the animals. Remy, stop. So we just got the turkeys in, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago, and Remy hasn't really experienced them at all. They are big birds. Money. I used to have chickens, loved free-range eggs. Money, yeah. Remy, come. Let me show you a couple other things real quick. I got to get off. I got to take my nephew. I'd love for you guys to subscribe. I do have a website, HuntersWorms.com, that you can chat with me through. This is kind of cool. This is a soldier fly setup, self-harvesting, and it's literally filled with them right now. And they just self-harvest and do their thing right now. This is my aviary. It's a recycled trampoline. This pile all right here, it's really rich stuff. This all came out of there just the other day, right? The chicken's been picking through it now. But I now reset their area for the quail, because the quail are really... Remy, stop it! Sorry, my dog's messing with the turkeys a little bit. Stop it, Remy. And these are the quail. So she has a hurt leg, the chicken. My camera's messed up on this or something. But the quail, got little houses. And this is a reset. It's already 3 or 4 inches deep. I got my cat with me. I'm down, I'll subscribe. Thanks, D. So cute. Thanks. Yeah, the animals are adorable. And these guys, like, they kind of balance themselves out. I have, I don't know, 40 of them now hatched out inside. I didn't show everybody. I'll probably go live again tonight if everybody wants to talk. What time is it for you? Right now, it's, what time is it? 10:31, which I got to leave in a few minutes to go to Tampa. About an hour away from Tampa. But yeah, and the chickens and everybody just kind of hangs out, gets along. Look at how close the turkey and the chicken are right now. And they just met. You know, the chickens, I thought I was going to try to, like, concentrate them and, like, control them. But they're good for the property. Remy, hey, come here. Hey, stop playing with them. Stop it. She's really good with the animals. Sometimes you have to let her. She's getting older, though. She's almost 8. She doesn't like to listen. The chickens are so nice. They are. And if I can get them all over me. Watch this. It's pretty cool. I don't leave feed out, and I feed them 2 times, 3 times a day. Watch this. They'll all come to this bucket. Come on, guys. Well, actually, they're coming to me. Come on. Turkeys don't know the bucket yet. Come on, guys. I mean, they'll come from all over the place. Look at them running. Dude, one of our silky just got... All right, we do have predators, I guess. The silky got smashed from above by a hawk right into the ground. It lived for a couple more days. We tried to baby it, but it ended up dying. That's a male right there. Friendly as can be. That's a guinea. These are leghorns. That's another male right there. My camera's crap. I don't even know what's going on with this thing. It's like it won't go far anymore. Wow. Crazy. DNA, thank you. But yeah, the chickens are cool. They're so... Look at these 2 baby guineas coming in. Guineas can eat up to 10,000 bugs a day. when you have too many of them, they get pretty annoying, but 3 of them is just fine. That's an older male, and these are 2 babies. I hatched that one, and then the white one was given to me by a friend. Turkeys are coming in. Look at the turkey. That's a male. Look at all these animals together. If I could only get the rabbits over here. Remy. Hey, mama. This is Farrah. I am married. My wife is at work right now, so she will be back soon. Maybe I'll do a live tonight with her. You guys can meet her too. At least all the boys I've owned. Do you have any silkies? All port. Yeah, it got smashed. My wife pretty much watched it happen. Remy, stop it. Come on. So Remy's not rough with them at all. She's just walking near them and they don't like it. But you guys have a blessed day. I appreciate you watching. I'm going to get off. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, have a good day. They just talk to me all day. Hey. Hey, you happy, chicken? Say bye. Say bye to everyone. Yeah, say bye. Say. You take it easy too. Be safe, man. This world's a crazy place. Take it easy.